Hi all, myself Dr. A. Nirmala, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Applications. Into this video, we are going to discuss about PLSQL procedure, PLSQL function in relational database management system. And first, let us discuss about PLSQL procedure. So PLSQL procedure, exceptions, triggers, all these are termed as the named blocks in PLSQL. The PLSQL stored procedure or simply a procedure is a PLSQL block which performs one or more specific tasks. It is just like a procedure in other programming languages. Each procedure in Oracle has its own unique name that can be used for calling the procedure or called the procedure throughout the program. The procedure contains a header and a body. Header contains name of the procedure that should be unique, and the parameters, that is also termed as the variables. These variables or parameters can be passed to the procedure. Body. The body contains a declaration section, execution section, and exception section. Here exception section is optional. If we want to include, we can include that. These things are similar to general PLSQL block that should be written within begin and end. The characteristics of PLSQL procedure are these procedures are standalone blocks of program that can be stored in the database. Call to these procedures can be made by referring to their name, that is unique name, to execute the PLSQL statements. It is mainly used to execute the process. And it also have the nested blocks. We can write the nested blocks, that is a block within another block. It also contains the declaration part, which is also optional, execution part, and exception handling part. It is also an optional one. The values can be passed into the procedure or fetched from the procedure. It can be done through only parameters. It can have the return statement to return the control to the calling block, but it cannot return any values through the return statement. So the procedure may or may not have the return statement, and it cannot be called directly from select statements. They can be called using the another block or through execution keyword, that is EXEC. The keyword is used to call the given procedure. And the parameter or variable, or it can also be termed as the placeholder of any valid PLSQL data type through which PLSQL subprogram exchange the values from the main code. This parameter allows to give input to the subprograms and to extract from these subprograms. These parameters should be defined along with the subprograms at the time of creation, and these parameters are included in the calling statement of these subprograms to interact the values with the subprograms. That is, we can pass the values through in parameter and we can get the values through the out parameters. So these parameters must be included in the calling statement to interact the values with the subprograms. The data type of the parameter in the subprogram and the calling statement should be same. The size of the data type should not mention at the time of parameter declaration, as the size is dynamic of this. And let us discuss about how to create the procedure and how to pass the parameters in the procedure. To create a procedure or function, we need to define the parameters. There are three ways to pass the parameter in procedure: in parameter, out parameter, in out parameter. The in parameter is used for giving input to the subprograms. It is read-only variable inside the subprograms. Their values cannot be changed. That is, it like constant. By default, all the parameters which are defined or declared in the procedure are of int type. Next one is out parameter. This parameter is used for getting output from the subprograms. It is a read-write variable. That means the values can be changed. It's like variables. In the calling statement, this parameter should always be a variable to hold the value from the current subprograms. And next, the third parameter is in-out parameter. This parameter is used for both giving input and for getting output from the subprograms. It is also a read-write variable inside the subprograms. Their values can be changed inside the subprograms. In the calling statement, these parameters should always be a variable to hold the values from the subprograms. And return statement. Return is a keyword that instructs the compiler to switch the control from subprograms to the calling statement. It does not return any value to the calling statement, but it returns the control to the calling statement. It means a return keyword in the subprogram. It controls the control switch over between subprograms and the calling subprograms. Once the controller finds a return keyword in the subprogram, the code after this will be skipped. Those codes will not be executed. Now let us see the syntax for creating the PL/SQL procedure. So create or replace procedure, procedure name. Create or replace procedure or the keywords. Procedure name, it is given by the user, that should be unique, and followed by the parameter list. The list of parameter can be included which are required in our program. Is then declaration section. Declaration section, we have to declare the variables. Then all the executable statements, the exception handling, if we are including exception handling statements, means those things can be included within begin and end block. Then after end keyword, we have to give the procedure name. This is the syntax for creating the procedure. So create keyword is used to create a new procedure, PL/SQL procedure with the given name, and the replace command is used to replace the existing procedure. And here is an example for creating the procedure. So the keyword is, the syntax is create or replace procedure, and we have to give the unique procedure name. Here greetings. Greetings is a procedure name. As begin. Within begin and end block only, we have to write all the executable statements. Here we are just going to display the word hello world. That's all. So for displaying this particular text on the screen, we must use this statement dbms underscore output dot put line statement, which is used to display the given string on the screen. So after executing this particular procedure, we will get the result as procedure created. Just we have created the procedure. We have to display that particular text hello world on the screen, means we should call that procedure. So this is the way to create the procedure. Next is an example for in and out mode example. So here I have given the example for finding the minimum number between two numbers. So first we have to declare the variables. What are all the variables we are using in the program? So I have used three variables. We need three variables for this program, finding the minimum, and two for getting the input value, and one for giving the output value. So we have to declare the variables A, B and C of type number. Then procedure, find min. Here find min is the procedure. Within bracket we have to list the parameters. X in parameter is used. X is a variable of type in, and Y is also a variable. These X and Y variables are used to give the input values. That's why we declare it as the in parameter. Using in parameter, then Z is declared as the out parameter. So is begin, and we have to calculate or find the minimum number. So if X is less than Y, then that is the first number is less than the second number, then Z is equal to X. We know that in PL/SQL the assignment operator is colon equal to. That means the X value will be assigned to the variable Z. Else Z is equal to Y. Then block if should be closed, end if, then begin block should be closed by using end. Then there we have just created the procedure. Now we have to call that procedure by using the parameters, by passing the values to the parameters. So here we have declared a colon is equal to 23, b equal to 45. So 23 will be assigned to the variable a, 45 will be assigned to the variable b. And we have to call that procedure find min. This is the procedure name. Within bracket, we are passing these two values as through in parameter, and we have to get the output value to the C. So we have to use these three variables. The data type and the number of variables should be same in the declaration section as well as in the calling statement. DBMS output dot put line statement is used to display the result. So we can display the result as minimum of 23,45 is C. So based on that condition which is given in the previous statement slide, if x a is less than x, b is less than x, the values are compared and the minimum value will be passed to the variable C that will be displayed. Okay, when this above code is executed at the SQL prompt, it produces the following result as minimum of 23,45 is 23. PL/SQL procedure successfully completed. And next we'll discuss about PL/SQL function. Both are same in the process, but only the thing is function should return a value. Procedure may or may not be return value, but in case of function, it should return the value. All the declaration and the creating the function and the calling function, the parameters, everything is similar to the procedure. The main difference between is function must always return value and the procedure may or may not be return value. That's the concept here. Except this, all the other things of PL/SQL procedure are true for PL/SQL function too. So directly we can go for the example, and here also the same example, but here I have used it for creating the function for finding the maximum value. Okay, so the numbers, the variables are declared as usual a, b and c of type number, and the function is created, that is function is a keyword, find max is the function name, and x in parameter and y in number. So here there is no z for using the out parameter for getting the value, but here we have to return that value. That's why we didn't use here. So return number, we must include the statement return. So return number is z of type number. So dynamically we can declare the variables, no need to give the size else also. So within begin and end block, we can compare the x and y value, which is the maximum value. If x is less than y, then z is equal to x, else z is equal to y. And if then return z, the result value will be returned to the calling function. And as usual, begin and end, we have to give the values and we have to call the function. So find max function is called, that result will be returned to this calling function, and that will be stored in the variable C. And by using the DBMS output line statement, we can display that particular result value on the screen. So after executing this block of statements, we will get maximum of 23,45 is 45. So in a nutshell, through this video, we come to know about PL/SQL procedure and PL/SQL function. I hope you have some idea about these two topics in PL/SQL or DBMS. Thank you for watching this.